Good morning and welcome back to our channel. Today, Zoe and I are gonna go down to our family farm and we're gonna collect some eggs from the chickens, and then we're gonna gather all of our plants that we've been growing to create the privacy fence at our property. What you gonna cook for breakfast?
Scrambled eggs, oatmeal.
My favorite. So right now on the property, we don't have our washer and dryer yet, and we probably won't move it out there until the house is done. So while we're down here at the farm, Zoe's gonna do some laundry, and I'm gonna get all the plants loaded up onto the trailer to bring back down to the property. Once we get the plants down to the property, I'm gonna try and plant some of them. I don't know if they're ready to be planted yet. On our property, we have a bunch of oak trees, hence the name Home Between the Oaks. But we have a lot of little young oak trees that have taken over the last year. I'm gonna try and dig some of those up and transplant them over to our fence line. That way we can have nice oak lined fence line in some of the areas where there's not as many trees. So that's today's plan. Let's get into it. So we're back at the family farm. These are all the plants that I need to get on the trailer and get down to our property. These are bamboo. I collected a bunch of bamboo species and I propagated them, which means you cut a section of it off, plant it in soil, and as you can see, it's actually growing really well. These are some iron clay peas. That's deer deliciousness. Here's another good example, this one. All right, so like I said, you cut each section of the bamboo and you leave the node, and you put the node down in the soil and roots come from it, and then everywhere else starts to sprout. So these have been in there 2 weeks now and they're already sprouting really good. These bamboo plants are going to create us a giant privacy wall, so that way our property is completely secluded. When this one started, it wasn't taller than the shoot. It was about this high. Now look at it. This has been about 3 weeks and it's already, I'd say 14 inches long. So they're doing pretty good, but we got to move all these down to our property. I have all the plants loaded on the trailer. I'm gonna drive real slow so these don't fall off. But here's all the plants. Even growing a coconut tree. These are Zoe's sunflowers. Now we just have to take them back down to the Home Between the Oaks. So I got a bunch of potting soil over here that I need to get loaded from the farm into the truck to take down to our property. We finished up here at the farm. We got everything loaded on the trailer to take down to our property. Hopefully everything stays put. So we made it out here to our property and I've got all the plants unloaded off the trailer. So I'm hoping to put all these plants in the ground along this opening, because as much as I love my neighbor Adam, I'm trying to block the view right here with a privacy wall of bamboo. We may leave that spot right there open because it doesn't really have a view from his house, and the sunset comes right through that opening, so we may leave that open for now. But all right here, I'm gonna plant plants to cover all this. And then over here, I've already planted some oak trees, which I planted them like last maybe September. So this one right here is doing real good. This one did not take. This one is a failure, so I'm gonna get that out of there. I'm gonna swap it with a new oak tree. This one took real good, and then this one took really good. This one took, but barely. Like as you can see, I've only got a couple leaves growing on it. And then this one took really good. My goal is to make this entire opening look like this. So that way, because our house is gonna be over there, and I want this whole thing covered all the way across. Zoe's sunflowers need some water today. They're starting to dry out. These plants have been in here for a month, and some of them are growing real good. Like this one here was about this high almost a month ago. So we've got at least 8-9 inches of growth there. This one is doing really good. This shoot right here was about this high, maybe 4 inches, 3.5, 4 inches. And now in the past month, it's gotten up here. So now it's almost like 13, 14 inches long. So that one's doing really good. Some of these are doing real good. These ones don't look like they're doing good, but I've actually got some shoots coming out of the nodes now, which means that the bottom is taken into the soil. Same with this one. I've got some shoots coming out of that node there. And then this one is definitely my best one so far. This, like I said, is like 2.5 weeks of being planted, and look at all the growth that I've already got. These things are sprouting like crazy out of this one. Those iron clay peas are taking off. They sprout out of the ground. Like, you can plant them and 2 days later you already see a plant coming out of the ground. Those things are ridiculous. The deer are probably going to come eat those because the deer come out of those woods there. Diana with Rad Builders is about to call us and go over our house plan and the proposal. We pretty much have everything finalized, and we're almost ready to take it to contract, which means our house is going to be started here pretty soon. So I'm up here in the front part of our property, and this is one of the little oak trees that I want to transplant back there to the fence line. As you can see, this oak tree is probably, I'd say, a little over a year old. So I'm gonna dig a big circle around it, and I'm gonna transplant it out there to the fence line. This is the dead tree that we're gonna take out. It didn't take when I planted it last year. And then I'm gonna plant this oak tree that I just took out of the front part of the property back right there. I got this tree transplanted, and I've got it watered pretty good. So let's hope it takes. I've got all the plants set up, and I've got the sprinkler going, giving them some water. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Home Between the Oaks. If you haven't done so already, smash that like button and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys.